Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this dress, but you can just turn yours into a crop top, but I'm making mine into a dress. So the first thing you're going to do, we are going to be creating our tube top first. So what I have here is just my bust measurement divided by 4 plus extra 4 or 3 inches depending on you. So my bust is 42 divided by 4 is 10.5, so I added like extra 3 inches or 4 inches here. The same for the back panel also, and as you can see, this is on a fold. So if I open this up, you see it's folded into 2, and then the back panel is also folded into 2. And then the lines I have here is where I want my top to start. So let's say I want my top to start at 5 inches, and then I have my shoulder to, this is where I want the top to start, and then the next one is the chest line, which is my armhole line. That's my armhole divided by 2, where it lands is this here. So this is my chest line. The next one is going to be my nipple line. That's my and this here is my under bust. My shoulder to my under bust is this one, and then this is my waistline. So for me, that is my top is starting at 5, my armhole is at 10, nipple line is at 12, the other one under bust is at 15, and then waist is at 17. So that's what I have here. So after that, the next thing I'm going to do is just to divide my nipple to nipple by 2 plus half an inch. Mark it here, mark it on this line also. Go ahead, mark it on this line all the way down straight. So I'm going to go ahead and mark 0.5 here, 0.5 for my under bust line. Connect the two of them together on my waist and then on my under bust. And then I'm going to come down here by 1 inch on this line here before I get to my nipple, because you can't connect it directly to the nipple line. So mark it 1 inch below the nipple line and then connect it just like this. And then after that, the next thing I'm going to do is 1 inch above the nipple line also, I'm going to mark it. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark from this point of my the upper part of this here. I'm going to go and mark 1 inch away from me and 0.7 inches towards me. So 1 inch away from me, that's 1 inch facing the armhole side, and 0.75 towards me. And then once that is done, I'm going to connect it all the way to this point here. So guys, this is what I'm working with here. I've gone ahead and connected it. So now the next thing I have to do is just to go ahead. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do is to divide my bust by 4. So whatever you have, so for me that's going to be 10.5. Mark it here, and then I'm going to connect from this leg of the dart, the outer leg of this dart, to that point. So once I've connected, you see I've connected this now. So the next thing I have to do is just to go ahead and add whatever inches I have here. So it's about half an inch. Insert it here, and then I'm going to add 2 inches of sewing allowance. Come down to the waist, divide my waist by 4, whatever I have, mark that, and then add whatever it is I have here, which is 1.5, and then I'm going to go ahead and add 2 inches of sewing allowance, and then I'm going to go ahead, connect the bust to this part here, just like that. I'm going to connect from here to here. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. Remember, my back panel is still here, but once I cut it off now, you see, so basically I'm just going to go ahead and cut this out all the way to this part here. And then on this line here, I'm just going to go ahead and notch it for both the front and the back, starting from my armhole part. Now at this point, I'm going to remove the back, set it aside, right? And now I'm going to cut all the way out here and then start cutting every other thing. So guys, this is it here. So this is the center part. I'm not going to be reducing it because I want it straight across like a tube, but if you want, you can go ahead and just maybe reduce it by maybe half an inch, or just give it a slight curve, just like this at the upper part here. That's basically it. So this is the center part here, and then this one on this side, one on the other side, and that's basically it. So now I'm going to go ahead, trace outlining for this, but before that, the back panel, all I have to do is just on that point where I marked this, this point here where I notched this like this from this, I'm just going to go ahead, fold it away just like this and cut it off, because this is just the length of my back, because the back the back panel is going to be meeting the front panel by the side, right? So basically you want it, the back is going to maintain the length of whatever length you have on the side, you see. So this is the side here, the two of them will be meeting each other here, so I need to maintain the same length on the back going towards the side. So that's basically it. This back here, all I have to do is now just to split it open at the center so that I can have zipper allowance by this center part here. So this seam allowance I have here will still be able to fit in my zipper allowance. So I have a zip here, zipper, and then once that is done, I'm going to come in here by at least the same 4.5, which is my nipple to nipple plus divided by 2 plus half an inch. Mark it all the way, and then I'm going to have like a simple dart here, 1 inch on this side, 1 inch on this other side, and that's basically my dart here, which is going to go all the way to the top, right? And then what I'm going to do next is I like to just reduce the back a little, like 1 inch, and then blend it into the side. So I'm going to cut this off, and that's basically it. So guys, this is it here. I've joined it. I went ahead and reduced the upper part because initially I started my top at 5 inches, but I reduced it up to like 6 inches because it was too high. So I made it like 6 to 7 inches, but it depends on you. So now you see what I have here. So I've gone ahead, join the side, use lining to turn it over. So guys, basically cut your tube top and then join the whole body. And then what I did is I used my chalk to mark 2 inches down from this upper part here, but towards the back I made it just 1 inch. You see what I was saying, that the back, which is this seam here, is going to start from where my armhole is, right? It can't go above that. The same on this side, 1 inch towards the side of the back and then towards the front. But this upper part here, this whole part here, I came up like 2 inches. So that's basically it. So this is what mine looks like. You see the cup here. So this is it. So now the next thing is the ruffle that is going to go on top. You guys, you can come down 3 inches. It depends on you where you want it to be placed, right? You can do 3 inches, but I want it a little bit high. But I might still, like when I go to sew it, if I find that I don't like where it is, I can still make it 3 inches. I think 3 inches might be perfect, because now that I'm looking at it, my bust will be here. That means it's going to be on top. So I might come down like 3 inches and place it there. So now what the next thing is that you're going to go ahead and measure yours from here all the way to the back. Whatever you have, multiply it by 2. So it depends on you, the amount of fabric you want to do. You can do 2.5, you can do 2 inches, sorry, 2 times 2, right? You can do, like, what I'm saying is to calculate the width you're working with. You can do times 2 of that, or you can do times 2.5, depending on you. But I'm using a fabric with a little bit of starch, which is this Akara fabric, so I might not do that much. So I think a little bit more than 2 inches will be okay for me. So this is what I'm working with. And then the length here also depends on you. So it depends on you, because I want to use the glue, the tape glue. I'm going to put it inside here and iron it down for the upper part of this ruffle. Because remember, you can just cut your lining. If you want, you can cut a lining. Let's say this is the width I'm working with. I can just cut a lining, use half an inch to fold it here, half an inch to fold it here, and then bring it out from one side like a tunnel, like a belt, right? And then iron it. That way I don't have to add any seam allowance to fold the end, right? And that way I would also get a thicker fabric, like something that is more firm. But for me now, how I'm going to do that is I'm going to just use the tape here just to give this upper part of mine a little bit of strength. But then the lower part, I'm just going to fold it like how you normally fold the end of your clothes. But the upper part, I want it to be able to stand, because definitely the bottom part is not working against anything. It's just going to flow down. But the upper part, since you want it to stand and just give you that look, you might need to add I think even crinoline or something, just for it to give you that firmness at the top. I think crinoline might be too much, but maybe just the stay, iron that in here so that it will be more firm. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for mine at the upper part, just straight down like this. It's even perfect because the one I have is just 1 inch of width. So just put it in here, iron it down all the way. So the width I have here also depends on you, what you want to work with. So mine at this moment is 11.5. But ideally I would have done maybe 12 inches, so that if I take away one here, one at the bottom, I'll be left with 10 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead now, sew it together. If you want, you can use, I've seen some with box split, I've seen some with gather. Whatever you want that you feel is okay for you, then you can use that. And then the next thing is that once it's done, you're going to come down from the top part here. Like, let's say if you want, you can do it in between and then split it into 2, or you can make the lower part 1 inch short longer So let's say you have like 10 inches of width after you folded the edges here. You can decide to do 10 inches. You can split it 4 inches at the top, 6 at the bottom part. Or if you want, you can just put it in the center, which is just 5 inches above, 5 inches below. And then run a straight line across like this and the center like this. Just make it straight all the way. And know that all your seam is just going to be on this center part here. You can use your gather stitch to run it inside of this like this and pull it together, then join it on that line that you made here, then top stitch it, place it on top like this on that particular line that you made all the way to the back. Just going to quickly cut the skirt part for this. So basically the width I have here is just my hip divided by 4 plus 1 inch. The length is basically your shoulder to waist. You subtract it from the full length of the skirt. So for me, I have about 21.5 here, right? That will be the length. So now I'm just going to go ahead, insert my waist measurement. All my measurements are going to start here because this is the back panel with the zipper allowance. So I'm cutting everything together. My waist divided by 4 is going to be at this point 9 plus 2 inches, 1 inch of that and 1 inch of seam allowance. Come down from that point all the way to 10 inches, my waist to hip length. And then here I'm going to insert my hip measurement divided by 4 at 12 plus 1 inch, connect it. Come down to the end of the skirt, subtract 1 inch from it. Now I'm going to just go ahead and connect from here to the waist. So guys, for the dart, I've gone ahead and connected it. So all I have to do now is the dart, nipple to nipple divided by 2 plus half an inch. My dart is going to go down on all the 4 layers, the 2 sides of the back and the 2 sides of the front, 2 inches before my hip, which is 8 inches length of that, all the way up here, half an inch on this side, half an inch on this other side. So this is basically my dart. I'm going to just go ahead and notch it on all the layers, cut off this excess and join the skirt together. Then I'll bring back the top and we'll complete. So guys, this is what mine looks like. Basically all you have to do, like I said, if you wanted a gather halfway through, you can do or half or a little bit more at the bottom and less at the top. And then just if you want a gather, first make your gather stitch and then sew it on top all the way to the back. I wanted a pleat, so that's why I made the pleat, because I felt like a gather for somebody that is busty might be too much. So that's why I went for a pleat. And if you notice, once I finished that, my own was still falling over. And see the thing I was saying about not having any seam at the top, you see, I just folded the fabric and ironed that the stay inside. But this end here, you see, I sewed it down. But even after I finished that, I still noticed that this was falling over. So what I did was just to add a little bit of that inside here. The stay, I added the glue stay here and then ironed it down, so it's holding it down even up to this point. Just a little bit at the top is what will be falling over, but that won't happen now because it has something holding it down there, you see. So this is the back. After that, I added the skirt part. If you don't want the skirt, you just wanted it as a top, all you have to do is just stop there, hem it, and it's done. And then for the back, this is the back. You see, it went into the zipper side. Everything went into the zipper. And then just like that, all I did was just to fold the excess at the top. On this side also fold the excess at the top. You see where my zip stops? My zip stops here. So that's basically it. Every other thing went into the hem here. So it closes up like this. So that's basically it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Guys, please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.